So I just finished an anime called Gurren Lagann, and my overall thoughts on the show, I think the show was actually really good. I think it was action-packed. There was a lot of relationships that developed. There were emotions that I felt during this anime towards certain characters, and it just overall was a very good action-packed anime. A lot of screaming, a lot of screaming. These voice actors need some time off because I hope they had time off because they were just screaming throughout this anime. But my overall perception of this is really good. If I had to give it a ranking on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. This is a very short anime. It's only 27 episodes, but it's broken up in 3 different parts. But it's actually really good. I enjoy myself doing this. Now, as far as the characters, there were a lot of interesting characters we were introduced to. It's a lot, so don't ask me the names of specific ones because I have no idea, but there were characters that stood out to me, characters being, of course, Simon, he's the MC, Yoko, you got Kamina, you got Kitan, you got Raosu. So, honestly, it was a lot of characters that we were introduced to that I actually come to love, and I was actually rooting for one character to have a happy ending, but that didn't happen, but I'm going to get further into that. I do like the plot of the show. The plot of the show was surrounding this big villain or big threat, big antagonist of the series called the Anti-Spiral. Of course, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the powers of the show, but they're the sides of the Spiral, which are the characters that we know, that we've had the journey with. And then there's the Anti-Spiral, who's the end-all, be-all villain of the series who wants to put an end to the human race that uses Spiral power. I think that was an interesting concept as well. But the one thing that I wanted to really dive into is the character of Kamina. Now, if you guys don't know the character of Kamina, he was very, very important to the plot. He was pretty much, spoiler alert, he was killed off early in the season, about 7 or 8 episodes in, he was taken out. I kind of predicted this was happening because of the way that the dialogue was turning and the way that people were acting towards him. I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like he's going to die. I just feel like something gave me the vibe that he was going to be taken out. And he was. He was an important character, especially to people like Simon and Yoko, who are the other main characters of the series as well. But I just wanted to talk about his impact towards the team. I think that Kamina really left a huge impact on his teammates, because him and Simon were born underground and, they spent their hours digging and they were pretty much people who lived underground. Same as Raosu, he lived underground. He never knew what the surface looked like. He never knew what above ground looked like. And Kamina, his father left early on in the series. This was like a prequel, I guess, like something that happened before the series started. But Kamina's dad ended up leaving and actually going to the surface and offered Kamina to come, but Kamina as a child, he wasn't familiar with the surface, so he didn't go. He didn't even want to even think about doing it because he was afraid. It's something he wasn't used to, and he regretted that. So his character evolved to this macho, larger than life, faithful character that pretty much told you, hey, whatever I set my mind to do, I'm gonna do it, even if I have to kill myself while doing it. Like, I like characters like that because of the fact they leave impacts on other characters. And Kamina's death really changed Simon, the MC, because before, Simon was shy, timid. He really didn't have any motivation to go to the surface or fight, because on the surface, there were these things called gunmen. And gunmen are pretty much big machines that other beings sit inside and use for, techniques and powers, all types of various techniques. So the fact that Simon grew into his own, the fact that Simon actually channeled his inner Kamina, because he even got a similar design to Kamina, to where when he got older, he became more courageous, he became more confident. He actually started acting like Kamina, saying like, who the hell do you think I am? I'm Simon, I'm going to take you down, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get the job done. This can also be said for the character Kitan. Kitan was kind of like a Kamina light, like a Kamina junior, because I don't know, as soon as Kamina passed away, Kitan took on that role of motivating the team and actually getting people on board, So that's why I say Kamina's impact on the entire team was something that should be taken note of, because not a lot of characters can do that. Not a lot of characters can like leave such an impact on not only their teammates, but people watching the show as well. Because Kamina did everything he could to make sure he stayed above ground. He wanted to live outside of the underground world. He didn't want to be subjected to a limited lifestyle. He wanted to be above and achieve more than what he was given. You know, he wanted to be like his father. He wanted to be more like his father. He wanted to be, you know, this brave soldier that's like a parental figure for Simon, because Simon and him have a big brother, little brother relationship. Like, it was something that I actually admired. But one thing that I will say is that this anime really showed you that a lot of people, they don't have the guts to do certain things unless they have that right person to motivate them. And Kamino was that high motivation for a lot of people on his team. That's something I can grow to appreciate, because Kamino didn't have to do what he had to do. Kamino was actually really cocky in the beginning, and you would think that with him being cocky, he would have went down a different path. But instead, he decided to encourage his teammates, push them forward into the next lifestyle that they were going to head towards. But overall, bro, Gurren Lagann is a really good anime. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to dive more in depth with other characters in other videos, but that's just my overall thoughts on a Kamina character. I really enjoyed him. I thought that he was taken out a little too soon, but let me know how you guys feel in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.